I'm so excited to be partnering with Cheffie on season 11 of the podcast. Cheffie is not just a platform, it's a dining revolution. It transforms the traditional dining model, giving chefs the power to launch virtual restaurants, set their own menus, prices and hours, turning every chef into an entrepreneur. Their platform liberates chefs from the confines of a fixed location, offering them the autonomy to craft their culinary destiny. For foodies, Cheffie is a passport to a world of flavours, delivering diverse cuisines directly to their doorsteps. It's convenience, variety and connection all in one place, just a click away. I'm joined today by a man who truly defined my childhood. Andi Peters was a staple on my TV screen growing up, presenting the likes of The Broom Cupboard, Live and Kicking and Short Change. Over 3 decades later, he is still as busy as ever, found mainly presenting over ITV's morning schedule between Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, and my personal fave, This Morning. Over the years, he's worked both in front and behind the camera and continues to amaze me with his ageless looks. In recent times, he's shown himself to be a bit of a culinary master through his daily Instagram posts documenting his dinners. I feel a new show concept coming on. Andi, this is too surreal for words. Welcome to Crazy Sexy Food.
Thank you very much. I'm slightly crazy. I'm very sexy and I love food. Literally. I'm surprised you didn't book me earlier.
Well, I'm not going to lie. We've actually tried over the years and your people, you know, they're a bit picky about where they're going to place you.
My people are I wouldn't say a bit picky. They're very picky and I'm so blessed to have them. But I'm here now and that's
But I'm
what counts.
very, very
That's what
honoured.
counts.
But there is a lot of mixed emotions here. And I did say this before we started sort of recording, is that, you know, I grew up watching you on TV. You know, I'm from that generation of The Broom Cupboard. Live and Kicking still is and will be my favourite show of all time.
Do you know what? Emma Forbes is over soon.
Oh,
she lives in America. I will mention it to her.
Can we do a reunion?
Yeah. Not sure it gets both in the same, but we're going for lunch.
Oh.
And now the question is, where are we going? But we can talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I might invite,
we haven't mentioned
I might invite myself too as well. But, you know, and now I'm interviewing you. I mean, it's amazing how the tables turn. But those early days, you know, particularly sort of The Broom Cupboard, what was that like?
So by the time I got to The Broom Cupboard, I'd worked in television for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And I remember I worked for ITV for 6 months. I was very lucky. Let's go right back. I was very lucky. I worked in a shop and the shop had a radio station, Radio Top Shop, and it broadcast Radio Top Shop to all the top shops and top mans in the country.
Okay.
And a TV producer was in the store with her daughter shopping, thought I sounded quite funny, and I'd got that job on the radio station by accident. But again, there just isn't enough time to tell the story. I said, oh, I'd love to be a TV presenter one day. She said, well, actually, I'm a TV producer. Let me know. And I was still at school. And 3 months later, I wrote to her. I went down into Oxford Circus tube station to take a picture because obviously then camera phones didn't exist. I'm that old. And she said, oh, as it happens, we're looking for a new presenter for a show. She said, come for an audition. I did 2 auditions. They gave me the show. I'd never worked in television. I was still at school and I got that job. And then I went from there doing this 16-week outside broadcast show for ITV. I mean, and I don't come from a showbiz family, nothing to do with entertainment. I did that, and then the BBC, literally, apropos of nothing, rang up and said, we've seen you on ITV, we think you're really good, would you like to come and work here? I, of course, said yes. So went to work at the BBC, and when I first got there for 3 months, they didn't put me on screen to wash the ITV off me. They were quite, in the old days, they were like, he just needs to become a bit cleaner.
Right, okay.
And then as soon as I went on air, they said, we're going to put you on the Broom Cupboard. I did 1 week in the mornings doing children's birthday cards. They said, we're going to put you in the Broom Cupboard. And everyone was amazed. Like, they're going to do what? And in those days, the Broom Cupboard had got 10 million a day.
Really?
Yeah. With that link into Neighbours was doing 10 to 12 million every single day, which is why even now, old grannies come up to me and go, oh my God, you used to introduce Neighbours 30 years ago. Of course, you know, when I was in my 30s, I'd see you when I came. Yeah, and so it served me well, very, very well.
I mean, but like as a young Andi, and you're saying, you know, you didn't come from a showbiz family. Did you ever think that was an option to become a TV presenter? I mean, what did you want to do when you were younger?
I wanted to be a pilot.
Okay.
And I was studying. Again, it's so long ago. But I remember studying towards doing physics, thinking you need physics to be a pilot. But My brother always says, no, you always wanted to be a presenter. You always pretended you were a presenter. You used to put a little thing in your ear and pretend you were a presenter. I deny all of this, obviously, Your Honour. But my big brother says, oh, no, you did. And I come from the school of anything is possible. I come from the school of if you want to do something, there ain't nobody that can stop you.
Absolutely.
Apart from yourself.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, once I got my first television job, I thought, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be on television. And because I was so young, I got the job on my 18th birthday. Gosh. And I'd finished school that year. And my parents really argued about, should I do the TV job or shouldn't I? Again, because they knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And so eventually they agreed that even if it flopped, and I went to university a year later, I would just be the oldest in the year, not the youngest in the year. And that's what was decided. And I've never had to look back.
And I've got to ask, Ed the Duck.
Yes.
Where is he?
He lives in Cornwall now. He's got a lovely house in Cornwall, overlooking the sea. He's very relaxed. He's a very, very wealthy duck.
I feel like millions are finally going to get the answer that they've been waiting. Exactly. Well, not that. Well, hopefully millions are going to listen to this. But you know, all those millions. You'll
be a very wealthy lady looking over a cliff in Cornwall.
I'm going to buy Ed the Duck.
Yeah, you know, Ed. I always say I wouldn't be here without Ed the Duck.
Yeah.
You know, people remembered us. We were a double act. In fact, he worked with somebody before me. He worked with Andy Crane, but he had longer with me. Yeah. And we had a really great relationship. He's an amazing character, amazing personality, and just was fun. It made it fun. And on Tuesdays when he used to go to Cubs, I used to miss him.
Oh, gosh. I'm going down. I'm booking a train to Cornwall as we speak. I'd like to take it back. You were born and raised in London. Mm-hmm. I want to know what life was like growing up, but I sort of want to link it to the food. Yeah. You know, what was on the kitchen table? Who was cooking? Was food important? You know, what was its role in your life?
Food was really important. My parents are Nigerian, so that's my heritage. So I'm very familiar with Nigerian food, not to the extent that some people are, but very much. You know, there are some key things. Jollof rice. People are all going about jollof rice now. Yes, okay, it's just rice. You know, it's rice which is a bit red, made with palm oil. Oops, and he can't use palm oil anymore. But yes, it's a nice rice. Yeah. There's a spinach and okra soup, which is the most important. Yeah. That's the thing I used to love the most. Okay. Was the spinach and okra soup.
Do you like spicy food?
I mean, I don't mind, but my parents used to always threaten me and say, if you're naughty, we'll put Scotch bonnet peppers in your eyes. I mean, nowadays, again, we wouldn't be allowed to say that anymore, but it's one hell of a threat. It works.
Yeah.
So Scotch bonnet peppers, I have such memories of Scotch bonnet because it was used in everything. And interestingly, M&S have launched a Scotch bonnet relish.
Oh, gosh.
Scotch bonnet and pineapple, and it's really delicious. And then the minute I tasted it, it really took me back.
Takes you back.
So there's some... these black eyed peas fritters that Mum used to always make. So it's a real mix of that alongside, I love fish fingers. Yeah. And my mum was like, Andy loves fish fingers. I'll just cook him fish fingers.
But were you interested in cooking? Like, did you ever get involved? Or was it very much put on the table? And
No, interestingly, of all my siblings, I'm the only one that used to go in the kitchen. So I'm the only one that would go in the kitchen and help my mum. Hence why I did so well on MasterChef. Because I used to love to join in and cook. I would always do Christmas lunch. Always. I'd be in the kitchen with my mum, chopping carrots, making the gravy. I used to love making gravy, which is ironic because I hate gravy. I know.
Hold on. So you have a roast dinner?
No.
Or a Sunday lunch?
Okay, look.
You need to be very careful how you tread.
I only have a Sunday lunch style meal on Christmas Day. So Christmas dinner.
Okay.
And with that Christmas dinner, I will have gravy.
Okay.
Next Sunday, I won't have a Sunday roast.
Okay.
I don't really eat roasts.
Okay.
But I do love Christmas dinner with gravy.
But you don't like gravy? Just the concept of it?
I'm not a sauce person.
Really? That's so interesting.
I know. And thank the Lord I wasn't born in the north because then I would have been extradited to the south. People say chips and gravy. I literally can't think of anything worse.
Okay, so...
What is?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying
Hollandaise, not that interested.
So condiments?
I don't really eat ketchup that much.
Okay.
I don't eat brown sauce at all.
Do you like do you ever eat chips? Like, you know.
Yes, I eat chips.
Would you dip those into something or would you just have them as is?
Okay, if we need to go factual.
We need to get very factual here.
If it is a McDonald's French fry, no sauce. I just eat those plain.
Yeah.
If it is a chip.
Yeah.
then I'll dip it in something. So I went to Dinner by Heston.
Yes.
And they did thrice cooked chips that Heston invented. And on the same table, he put down truffle mash. And Tom, the chef, said, dip the chip in the mash, which goes against every bone in my body. A carb dipped in a carb. What's wrong with you, man?
God, I think you're living. I mean, you're living.
However, I dipped the thrice cooked chip in the aforementioned truffle mash. It was delicious.
Okay.
It was absolutely delicious, but it is a carb on a carb.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep for 3 weeks. And I literally had to stay on the treadmill for an hour every day.
I was about to, I mean, I'm sure a lot of things were going on in your body.
Oh my God, a chip dipped in mash. I mean, who does that? But it's like people have a chip butty.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, again, I love a sauce. I see what you're saying, though. It depends on what we're talking about, because I don't really eat McDonald's, but if I was to have a McDonald's chip, I quite like them on their own.
Yeah, right.
Because they're quite an iconic, they're so bloody tasty.
Yeah, and do you know what? In my list of things in life, I mean, the amount of time I spend at that drive-through window going, I'm sorry, I would like a fresh set of fries, please. And they say, but could you move along and wait in the bay? And I say, no, I can't, because then you'll forget about me. So I'll just stay here. I'm quite comfortable in my own car. And they say, oh, but there's a timer. And if the car doesn't move within 60 seconds, we get in trouble. I say, I've already been here 64 seconds. So you're already in trouble. So let's just wait, shall we?
Andy, I didn't think I could love you anymore, but here we are. Sort of moving on a little bit, and I guess this is something that I'm deeply fascinated, not just by you, but anyone, who's had a career like yours that has spanned decades.
5 decades.
It's 5 decades.
Well,
I said
because
3.
You go 80s, 90s, noughties, 10s, and now in the 20s. I mean, it makes me sound so old.
You must be due like a lifetime achievement award somewhere.
I mean, one would like to think, but
I'm going to sort something.
There appears to be nothing coming.
Okay, well, we need to have a little chat with a few powers that be.
Exactly.
I mean, it is about time. But I think in this world that we live in now, that's incredibly saturated with social media, posting every possible facet of your life, you are quite a private person. And I have to say, I highly admire that. How do you navigate that? Because you can fall into the trap.
Yeah, I think for me, the 5 decades, I've spent 4 decades without social media. So therefore, I don't see the need for it. I post my dinner every night. I enjoy seeing people's reactions to my dinner every night. There's a man called Tim. Every day, I don't know the man.
Okay.
Every day, he ranks my dinner. It is I literally wait to see, but what's Tim ranked it as? And he'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, that was a 3 out of 10. I'm like, why a 3? I don't like lobster. Well, I didn't ask if you like lobster.
Oh, no, that's brilliant.
And he ranks every single. I should suggest. I think he should post what he's ranked. Mine. And then he changed the scoring system recently.
Oh wow!
And so it became a score out of 50. And so there was 10 available for assumed taste, 10 for presentation, 10 for the day of the week. Did the meal suit the day of the week? It was hilarious.
I actually want to meet this guy.
No, exactly. And then I just kept getting like 20 out of 50, and I got really upset. And so I wrote to him and said, look, can we just go back to the old system where it's just a mark out of 10? And he went, I think we should try to keep with the new system for a little bit longer.
Oh, this is brilliant. Tim, reveal yourself. We want to meet you.
So then I went back to him and said, I really am suffering from only getting 20s and 30s. Before I used to get a 9 out of 10. Now I just can't get a 9. Anyway, he has henceforth gone back, and we now vote just out of 10.
Right. God, has this influenced the way that you cook now?
I do. As I'm plating up, I do think, oh God, Tim's going to hate this. This man Tim's going to hate this dish. He doesn't like seafood, I've worked out.
Right, okay.
So anyway, let me just pick up on the answer. So therefore, I came from an era where we didn't have social media. We didn't rely on social media. And I feel you have to keep things private that are private. I want to be on social media. I want to enjoy what it offers and the trappings that it can bring. However, I think you have to draw a line. And I have my line that I've drawn. And, my dinner is one way of keeping people engaged, keeping the algorithm working. Yeah. But at the same time, it does seem to react and resonate with people. And my dinners go from anything from chicken chow mein all the way through to posh restaurant meals. I
always think that I'm quite sort of an old head on a youngish body. But, it's nice to know that someone who has sustained such a long career it's not down to social media. You know, you're before that time.
Yeah,
and for me, that means that you're here because you should be doing what you're doing. And
that's really
you know,
generous of
it's
you.
talent. It's and I find that very refreshing.
I think we all got slightly distracted by
Yes.
social media.
Yeah.
And I think it is a distraction.
100%.
And I think you use it if you use it sparingly to enhance what you do, but it shouldn't be the only thing you do.
Yeah.
And it's not the be all and end all. And just remember, there are a lot of people out there only showing you the best bits.
Well, this is the thing. This is it. I think they say it's about 5% of everyone's life is what is Instagram.
Yeah. And I think that's why, bizarrely, my dinners are very real.
Yeah.
We all eat.
Yeah.
Everyone has dinner. And so sometimes it looks great. Sometimes I take the picture and go, God, that looks awful. Oh, well.
Tim's still going to rank it.
Yeah, that looks awful. Well, Tim won't be happy. Oh, well, just carry on. And that's that, you know. And I feel for me, we've all got flaws. Everyone's flawed in many ways. And I think it's not healthy to make people believe that we're all unflawed, because no, we've all got flaws.
And likewise, sort of bringing it back to TV, obviously TV has evolved over, definitely over the past 5 decades anyway. Knowing what you know now, would you have continued in the same direction?
It's really interesting. When I left children's BBC, so I'd been at the BBC for 11 years, and I left because one of the bosses had left to go to ITV, and he said, I'll let you produce more if you come to ITV. And that was a real change in my life, was leaving. I always think, so Gary Lineker was at the BBC when I was at the BBC, and I wonder, gosh, would I still be there now? What would I be doing? How would my career have been different had I stayed? When they said, please stay, and I said, no, I want this opportunity to go and produce. You should have no regrets, so I don't regret. Sometimes I think, I wonder what it'd be like. Would I still be there now, doing some game show or some quiz show? Or maybe, I'd have finished and maybe my career wouldn't have stayed when they did the last Cull of People, for instance.
Yeah.
So I think longevity, I am very lucky. I'd like to think what I do well. What I do, I give 100% every time. I never go on screen thinking, oh, I'll just phone in this performance. I give 110% every time, because I want to be brilliant. I want it to be brilliant. And there's nothing nicer than people coming up to me saying, oh, I watch you to them. Well, you bring literally women in supermarkets and men in the gym say, your energy. And I always just think, that's just me. I don't know any other energy. So it's so lovely that people appreciate what you do.
But I think that it does take a certain person. I do think it is your energy after all these years. You think about people who are, in a completely different field. I don't know, a job that involves being in an office or something. Yeah. Usually they wouldn't be there for, 50 years with the same energy, with the same, I'm waking up and I'm going to give 150%. I'm not just going to walk in and figure it out whilst I'm, a minute. We've all maybe been there every so often, but also with TV and cameras, you can't do that. It doesn't lie.
And there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, exactly.
Once the camera's on you, the camera's on you. There's nowhere to hide.
Exactly.
And I think you have to, for anyone wanting to enter television and radio, because once you open the mic, when you're live, it's live. You've just got to talk. You've got to be prepared to work hard. Hard work. I'm so old-fashioned in my ways, and maybe it's my parents. I always think you are your parents' child. If you work hard, it will eventually pay off.
Absolutely.
It will.
Yeah.
It really will.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Let's talk about the food on sets.
Yep.
So obviously, I'm sure that's evolved over time. Where has been some of the best food when you've been on set? And who has the best food?
The best, so it's interesting. So when I worked at the BBC back in the day, so in the end of the 80s and the 90s, we had 3 canteens in the building. So at that stage, probably 5,000 people worked at that building. So there were 3 really big canteens and tea bars. So think little cafes dotted around within the building. And there used to be the 3rd floor canteen. There was the 2nd floor waitress service, where an old school waitress with a penny would serve you.
That's so
and
old
the DG,
school. Love
absolutely.
it.
A doily on the plate. And then there used to be the 1st floor canteen.
Okay.
And there was a kind of split between the 3rd floor canteen was production people, office workers. Yeah. And the 1st floor canteen was more of a manual, sort of blue collar, white collar. That's probably the way to say it. And we used to go to all 3 because the bottom one would do sausages, the top one wouldn't. Then if someone said, oh, where are you going? Waitress service. Oh, that would be quite... But there was nothing nice about it. It was ghastly. But you would go and, and then... As it evolved, when they had another building up the road, they had a better canteen. So we'd all scurry up Wood Lane to the other building who had a better canteen, and they would do recipes from cookbooks,
Oh,
from famous
wow.
people's cookbooks. So you go, oh, they're doing a Jamie Oliver day, or they're doing a Ken
Delia
Hom
day
day,
or
or
whatever.
a Delia day.
Yeah.
So that used to be, but food was never great.
Okay.
The best food I've eaten in TV was when I did Dancing on Ice.
Yeah.
So we hosted a daily Dancing on Ice show, and because where we filmed it, there were no catering facilities. Torvald Dean's manager brought in caterers, which ITV then did. Eat to the Beat caterers. So they do pop concerts, they do tours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really?
How you can make that food out of a truck. Oh, holy smoke. Eat to the Beat. Bonnie from Eat to the Beat. She's a magician. You would.
Are they still around?
Oh yeah, Eat to the Beat.
Oh,
yeah,
they're still very much flourishing.
Rock and roll.
Okay,
yeah,
fine,
exactly.
right.
And the other revelation about Eat to the Beat, and also I'm a celebrity in Australia. They're
Yeah.
caterers again.
Yeah, I can imagine them.
Not for the people in the jungle.
No.
They don't get.
No.
They don't get caterers.
No.
But for everyone who works
They're
on
getting
it,
sort of camel
yeah,
testicle.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But for everyone who works on it, the catering's amazing.
So what's the setup now at Television Centre?
So I obviously work on breakfast. So we have a tea bar because it's the same building where we used to do live and kicking.
Yeah.
So we have a tea bar there that sort of does. Oh, my favourite thing in the tea bar. The sausages are burnt. Yes, I know. Well, maybe you could cook them so they're not burnt. Well, we have to cook them for 45 minutes at 180. Yeah, but then they're burnt. Yes, I know. And that conversation I've had so many times. So many times. I mean, so many times.
It's not going to budge.
Not gonna
Nothing's
budge.
changing.
The sausages will remain burnt.
Is that rules and regulations?
Yeah, because they're cooked
Right.
for 45 minutes at 180. Who cooks sausages for 45 minutes at 180?
I was going to say, just the
Nobody.
45 minutes is
I know,
very
exactly,
long.
Yeah, exactly. But when you see them, they're burnt. I mean,
They're charred.
Yeah, and they're just kind of, that's how we serve them. But they're burnt.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, on television, we don't say burnt or charred. We say caramelised.
Oh,
We always feel that that's slightly more appealing. You don't say salt. You don't say add salt. You say add seasoning.
okay.
Because you can't be
Gosh.
seen to add salt, not in this day and age. So you add seasoning.
Andy.
Yeah, and nothing is ever burnt. It's just caramelised.
Because it just sounds so much more sort of
Exactly.
delectable.
And also, you're not putting somebody down. Oh, you've burnt it. Oh, you've caramelised it a lot.
I'm learning from the pro here, literally. Fast forwarding, sort of
Yeah.
present day, you've kind of become this, correct me if I'm wrong, king of competitions. There is
I'll
this...
take that. Sorry,
but
no
it
correction
is.
needed.
No, but it is. But it's like... And I sort of started seeing it more, I think, in the past few years when I started really watching. I watch This Morning a lot because I work from home,
Yeah,
and
lovely.
I love it. I
Yeah.
sit down with my laptop and I have it on in front of me, and I just sort of
How
buzz
to pluck
away.
your eyebrows properly, followed by the menopause.
on-
I mean, only on ITV.
Followed by sort of dog grooming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only people who've got a march on us are the one show occasionally who will go even more bizarre.
I mean, it's incredible.
And then ask Hugh Jackman to comment on it.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I think what amazes me is every single day I'll tune in, either from Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, or This Morning, and you're in a different country, a different city, a different coastline. I mean, it's sort of like, where's Andy today?
Right, so interesting, so different coastline. So the boss of Good Morning Britain loves a view. So
Right.
he'd be happy wherever I am as long as there's a lovely view.
But you've been in situations, I mean, I've seen it where like you're about to be blown over.
Oh yeah, I mean the place near the Harry Potter Viaduct (brackets). Half the time I don't even know where I am. The Harry Potter Viaduct, wherever that is, whatever Harry Potter is, but that place, it was so windy. I mean, and everyone's going, oh, is he going to be all right? And of course, the television in me says, come on, we've got to do this.
Yeah.
We will not be beaten by the weather. As I literally am lifted off the ground with the umbrella like Mary Poppins by a viaduct that was featured in Harry Potter, a film I've never seen. I think that was one of the days I did think, what am I doing here?
What is happening?
Yeah, but the clip's really funny.
But that's
And
what I'm saying.
yeah,
It's
there
good
we go.
TV.
Yeah, people then
you
go, it's
know,
great TV, and you go, well, okay, I
you have
get
to take
it.
one for the team on
Yeah,
that one.
absolutely.
But then also on the flip side, you know, sometimes you're
Maldives.
exactly that's what I'm saying. You know, and I'm like, what the bloody hell?
Oh,
What
I know.
is this job? What is happening right
I
now?
think a lot of people are. What is this? I mean, how did you get this job?
But talk about how we've kind of got to this
So-
and how it works.
Good Morning Britain's been on television for 10 years. Lorraine's been on television for 100 years.
Yeah.
But when Good Morning Britain started, ITV asked me to come and do the competitions. They wanted a bit of energy,
Yeah.
that early morning, out and about fun. So I said yes, because it was a great idea. And I was very much in a market town in Leeds. Then I was in a blah blah in Scarborough. Then I was and it was just all a bit cold and damp. I can't lie. And so one of the bosses one day said, we should send him somewhere warm because it will look better. absolutely. And actually, if you think about it,
Yeah.
you're waking up in January. January is the month I do the most foreign because we want to put sunshine in people's houses on a wet January day.
Okay.
So this January, I think I did Cape Town, Spain. I mean, literally January, I'm away. The whole month of January, I'm always away in somewhere sunny because we believe it's better. And actually, yeah, if you're waking up, you're thinking, actually, I'd rather see sunshine than look out the window and see how doom and gloom.
Absolutely.
We're
I'd rather see Andi Peters, actually.
On a beach in a vest.
Yeah.
And I've got this pink vest that I always take to the beaches now. It's become the ongoing joke.
Yeah.
If I've got the pink vest on, you know I've gone somewhere good. So how we got there, I don't know. But we're there now, and long may it continue.
And obviously, I've got to link it to the food.
Right.
Because now you're literally, I mean, you've probably nearly travelled to every country as far as I'm concerned. I mean, wow.
I said the word Maldives. We had in the Maldives, again, if you've never been to the Maldives, when I joined ITV, and we kept saying, we should go to the Maldives, and everyone was like, no, we're never going to the Maldives. And we used to even literally, when we used to text each other on the team, we'd end the email or text with hashtag ticket to the Maldives, just trying to manifest it into being. I've been to the Maldives 3 times now. Oh. But we went to a restaurant in this hotel. It was a Jumeirah hotel, and we had a 25-course Indian meal. It was unbelievable. One of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. And 25 courses, of course, they're small.
Yeah.
And in those lovely metal.
Yeah.
It was... I'm very lucky, and I always get to choose where we eat. So the team used to always choose, and because I'm not a fussy eater. I just believe dinner is something you want to sit down and enjoy.
Absolutely.
And therefore, for me, sitting down in a cafe in Bognor, it ain't going to cut it. So we got to the stage where they said, well, why don't I pick the restaurant?
Okay.
And that way, if I pick badly, I've only got myself to blame.
Totally.
And the gang he likes to eat in nice restaurants.
Yeah.
So we all get to eat in nice
sure.
restaurants. A girl called Claire, who I'm actually filming with tomorrow. Claire said, I'll pick the restaurant one time. He said, okay, fine. And this is in the UK. He said, say that, great, Claire, you pick. I said, where is it? She said, one of my uni friends recommended it. I was already like, one of your uni friends recommended it. Oh, good God. I'm like,
Here we go.
Can you just remind me where you went to university? Sheffield.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, so we get to Sheffield. We get to the hotel.
I don't know where this is going, but I just feel it's going.
We get to the hotel in Sheffield, and I say, Claire, can you just give me the name of the restaurant just so I can have a look? Just so I can... She goes, yeah. Hang on, I'll just text my friend. She texts a friend, the friend that sent me that, and I go, right, and I Google the restaurant. No word of a lie. This restaurant is now closed due to an infestation of rats. I'm like, this is why we don't take recommendations from Claire's friends.
So where did you end up going?
I don't remember, but we certainly didn't go there because luckily it was closed. I will never, and I've never let her forget it.
So Claire goes on your recommendations now.
Absolutely. So I think one day this week we're eating in Watford. So I need to find somewhere in Watford.
Okay. I can't help you with that. He was looking at me like...
Yeah, have you been to Watford?
Anything?
Yeah. Anything?
Aside from your 25-course meal in the Maldives, where else have you had some incredible meals
on
around
my
the
trips
world?
around the world? Bangkok.
Okay.
Holy smoke.
Yeah.
I mean...
Everyone says it. Everyone
you could do a
says
whole
it.
thing. It is phenomenal.
Really?
And Singapore.
Yeah.
The
I'd
Far
love to go to
East.
Singapore.
Oh, have you not been?
No, I really want to go there.
I always feel awful when I say to people, what have you not been?
No, I know.
Because I've been everywhere.
No,
like,
I really want to go. Yeah, the food.
Singapore, there's a restaurant called Yan by Kirk Westway.
Okay.
He's a British chef.
Okay.
The restaurant is on the 70th floor of a hotel building. That man is creating magic. Honest, and I don't want to sound poncy. It's just... His food is brilliant. Beautiful. Portion size was smaller than I thought, and I'm a growing lad. Yeah. So he just kept sending more portions. I was happy with that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Because it
was that or chicken satay grilled on the street. I thought I'd take his food.
Was it chicken satay?
Don't ask. I mean, that's the other thing. All I keep saying is cook it a little bit more. And they're like, it's ready. I'm like, just cook it a little bit more. What's that one?
He wants it caramelised.
So true. Especially the pork. I'm like, keep going. The woman's like, it literally, I'm like, when you think it's cooked, cook it some more. Cook it a little bit more. Bangkok and Singapore, that side of the world is amazing for food. I think America's a bit of a disaster for food, can't lie.
Yeah.
You can't get a healthy meal in America, God forbid. And now they've started doing all these big salads. So they have proper, like, what's it called? Sweet green.
Yes.
But the problem is, you get the salad and they dress it with so much dressing, which is so calorific.
So whenever I'm in America, I always say to them, dressing on the side.
Yeah.
Because when they're putting half a litre you may as well should have had the hamburger and the chips.
You should have the Big Mac and fries. Actually, it's fewer calories.
No, it is.
No, it's fewer. And actually, again, me and my no sauces, olive oil and salt, I'm normally okay with that.
Yeah, or just a bit of lemon, just a little something to add to the oil, maybe.
No, I'm quite happy.
Okay.
He's
a simple lad.
You add something, you're on the way to being a sauce. I don't want a sauce.
I'm trying desperately here, Andy.
I just want olive oil, a bit of lemon. No, I wouldn't. No. Right. Question. Sidebar. Commercial break. How do you eat an avocado?
Okay. So I would get a knife.
Yeah.
And I would.
I wasn't hoping for this much detail. Let's assume you've got the avocado.
Okay. How would I eat it?
Yeah. Can you eat it? I can eat an avocado just with salt sprinkled on it.
Yeah, I could do that.
See, some people can't.
Yeah, I'll just cut. I'll scoop the half out, put it on the plate.
Yeah.
I will usually have it maybe with breakfast.
Yeah.
But I'm trying not to do the whole basic smashed avocado. So please, I've got a reputation here. But I do love to eat avocado.
Yeah.
So, but I could just eat it by itself.
Yeah, so that's how I eat it the most.
I just put a bit of salt, maybe a bit of pepper as well, a bit of seasoning.
A bit of seasoning. No.
Yeah.
I just have half an avocado, little bit of seasoning, i.e. salt, and just eat it with a dessert spoon.
Yeah, I could do that.
I can't eat off a teaspoon.
No, and also no. I mean that
people do. I can't.
No. No, I could. I do that
okay,
sometimes.
fine. Because a lot of people can't do that. They're like, what? You just eat the avocado like that? I'm like, yes. Well, you don't smash it up. No, that's only been around for the last 5 years. For God's sake, you have to smash it up and put chili flakes on it. Jesus.
No.
Isn't it amazing how some trends just become a trend and that's it?
I mean, I try not to. When I do have an avocado with eggs, I sort of don't want to admit that I'm having it because of what it's become.
Yes, exactly. And also, by the way, there are places in Mexico where the avocados have armed guards because it's become such a commodity. Not even joking. That the avocados become such a commodity that people are robbing avocado farms to get the avocados.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's
unbelievable. Like turning into like a new drug.
Yeah,
it's like the cartels.
It is. This is genuine.
Avocado
there was
cartels.
a Channel 4 thing about it. Unbelievable. Avocado. All this for us to be able to eat avocado pears, which when you buy them are often not ripe. But anyway, it's another subject and another day.
Something you're alluding to that I can obviously tell from your physical attributes is that you obviously do care about what you eat.
To a degree.
You're also in the gym. I did also admit to you before recording that I do see you. Healthy eating, important. What's your relationship like with food?
My relationship with food is this. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
That is my absolute everything in moderation. So tonight for dinner, I'm going to probably have, I don't know what I'm having actually, but it's going to have pasta in it. Okay. Because tomorrow I've got a big session in the gym.
Okay. So you're planning your gym sessions?
Yeah. So I know my gym session tomorrow is quite intensive. And I'm up early to do the TV show tomorrow as well. So I have something which has got some carbs in it tonight. Mm-hmm. And that's how I work. So I have fast food every week. On a leg day on Saturday, I'll always go to a drive-through fast food chain and have my standard fast food meal, like clockwork. Yeah. And people always go, "You don't eat." I do. And I'm
What's
a member
your
of
order?
This is what happens. Hello, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order, please? I say, medium Big Mac meal with Coke, please. 6 chicken McNuggets, sweet and sour sauce. That completes my order. Would you like an apple pie? I said, that completes my order. Drive to the next window. So I go round, you pay, I get to the next window. I say, I'm so sorry, the fries aren't very hot. Please have a new set of fries. We do a whole fry thing. Yeah. I get the fries, drive off, go home, eat my Big Mac.
You wait that long?
I eat the fries in the car.
I might need to have to eat mine in the car.
No, I eat the fries in the car.
Okay.
And then when I get home, I eat the nuggets. I microwave the Big Mac for 10 seconds. And then, literally, that's my perfect Saturday.
It sounds incredible.
Every Saturday if I can. And I will shift it. If I know I can't go on a Saturday, I will move that meal to another day so I don't miss out that week. Okay. But interestingly, I never eat that brand of fast food in America, ever.
Why? Because it tastes different?
Again, where we are so lucky in this country still is we have quite high food standards. Yes. And in other countries, so a beef patty in this country maybe only has 4% fat. Mm-hmm. In America, it has like 12. It just is. Oh, wow. Okay. And also their system is slightly different. So they hold the meat for longer. Yeah. It makes your eyes, your eyes kind of water. However, so I do believe in this country, we are so lucky to have systems that mean if you eat anything to excess, you may well become obese or fat. Yeah. That's just, but that's logic.
Yeah. Now, coming to these Instagram posts that good old Tim loves to rate. something.
Shall I tell Tim that I did an interview?
100%.
And say, Tim, you're going to be on this podcast.
Yes.
You
and
are
I think Tim needs to come on the podcast.
Well, Tim needs to rate everybody's food.
But one particular standout dish.
What I'll do is I'll just hang on.
Oh, here we go.
Let's just find Tim's Instagram.
Oh God! Oh, Tim's about to go viral.
Hang on. Tim, where is he? I mean, I won't
And
have to
do
look
we
for
know
long.
much about Tim?
No, he's married because his pictures him and a lady in a wedding dress.
Okay.
I assume it's his wife.
Yes.
Where is he? Tim Templeman.
Okay.
Now I sent him a voice note on Friday. Let's listen to what the voice note said.
Tim, I knew that was coming from you. Tonight, I think you're going to be over the moon.
He's not seen that yet. So I posted a picture of some I posted a picture of some sushi. So I posted sushi and he wrote back, "Oh man, I feel bad. 2 out of 10." But I know he doesn't like fish. 2 out of 10. So he hasn't heard that message back yet.
So you always know that if it's fish or seafood, you're always going to get a low
hard
score.
to get a high score.
Okay, but the one thing we have to talk
can I just
about.
tell you one more thing
oh,
about
he's got
Tim?
more. This is it. This Tim.
I didn't think that Tim would like, so I had rocket with cherry tomatoes and burrata.
Lovely.
I thought Tim's going to hate that. I thought Tim's going to hate that.
What did he say?
He said, "Yes, Andy, this looks decent. I realised recently I've been firing out far too many 10s and should have done a strictly and held them back for several weeks. This deserves a 10, but because of my own advice, I'm awarding you an 8.
Okay, you know what? We need to meet
so
Tim.
funny.
No, we need to meet Tim.
But look, I'm worried. He hasn't seen something I sent on Friday.
Okay.
And so he hasn't ranked the food since Friday.
There might be a bat.
I mean, it looks...
Yeah. Oh, Tim looks lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Tim looks
Oh,
lovely.
beautiful.
Lovely bride.
Yeah, wonderful.
Come on, get in there, Tim.
Tim, come on.
Come on, Tim.
Well, hopefully you got your pasta coming tonight.
Hang on,
so
shall
you
I
might
tell him that we've done it? I'll say, right,
Yeah.
hang on. Hi, Tim, it's Andy. I'm just doing a podcast. I've just mentioned you on the podcast, just so you know. Okay, thanks, bye. Right, so now if he gets that, then he may well respond. Right,
This is brilliant.
Carry on.
But one thing that has become very famous amongst, aside from Tim and your whatever
I know what you're going to
else,
say.
is Peter's perfect mash.
Yes. So when I was on MasterChef, I did mash on one of my dishes. And I put it through a ricer. I even put it through a chinois at one stage.
Excuse me.
Still didn't win. And somehow John Turode found a lump, which I will not... I'm like, that's just television drama, because there was not a lump in that
I
anyway.
reckon they put it
The
in
lump,
there.
exactly. Or he just went, oh, lump. But did anyone actually see the lump? So he then showed me a way of making mash, which I'd never seen before, which is simply when you mash it, it's science, mash it on the heat. Because
Okay.
it stops the gluten solidifying.
Yep.
So it stays much smoother.
Okay.
And also, I mean, you want 50% potato, 49% butter.
Yeah.
And then it's delicious.
Yeah.
That is Peter's perfect mash.
But I have to say, and I've seen some questionable dishes on people's Instagrams, it does actually look perfect.
I can't.
It's smooth.
I can't.
It's velvet.
I've got a masher. Again, one of those random things in Habitat 20 years ago. A masher with circular holes.
Okay.
Who's ever seen that before?
Yeah.
That's my masher.
And that's it.
I
This
think
is
my
this is
masher-
the secret.
My right arm, half butter, half potato, which some people object to. I don't know why, but no milk.
What are we doing at the gym the following day?
Yeah, I know, literally.
We're running a marathon. He's on the treadmill. Don't talk to him.
The step are even worse. But no milk, no milk, no milk, no milk. People only
Okay.
used milk. Milk was historically came from the war, that they needed it to go further, so they added milk to make it go further, to make the mash go further. Milk doesn't really add to the taste. You could put a dash of cream, but again, I don't even bother with that. Just butter, potato, seasoning. And mashing it on the heat.
Okay.
That makes a real difference.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Makes a real difference.
I have to be honest. I'm not a massive mashed potato fan.
Are you not? See, isn't that
I'm,
funny?
it's very weird.
Because it's got no texture.
I'm going to say something really controversial.
Oh, my word.
I don't know how you're going to deal with it.
Okay. Do you know what she's going to say? Look,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, God.
Everyone knows what's about to come.
Okay.
I don't eat butter.
Are you a vegan?
No, I'm not a bloody vegan.
Oh my God,
He was about to leave. I'm not a vegan.
Time.
I'm not a vegan. I just don't like butter.
Hang on, would you eat margarine?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I was brought up on a bit of a Mediterranean diet. So olive oil features heavily in everything that I eat.
Yeah.
But I've never knowingly had a sandwich with butter in it.
Okay, so Pret's good for you because Pret don't use butter.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
There we are.
You know the marketplace.
Yeah.
And so if I was to make a mashed potato, which is not
use? Yeah, woo.
Olive oil.
What? In the mash? Sorry.
I think he's going to cry.
Well, you make it.
But I don't really make it. I make it literally
Thank the Lord you don't. Because heavens knows it wouldn't be mashed potato. Oh my. Oh,
I think I've just lost all my
piece of
followers.
toast?
I've lost everything.
What would you put on a piece of toast? Just please, just the jam and that's it.
Bit of Marmite?
But nothing between the bread and the Marmite.
No.
Which in my head is so wrong, but as I said, that sandwich shop don't use butter, so I eat their sandwiches.
Yeah, but also if I was having toast, it would have a bit more than that on it. I might put my poached egg on it, or I might.
But you still need something between the.
No, a bit of a drizzle of olive oil at the very end.
Oh no.
Do you know what? We were doing so well, and now I just sort of.
I thought you were going to say, "Oh, you only eat margarine" or something.
No,
I
think it's the texture.
But there is no texture because it'll be melted like oil.
No, and the taste. But I also understand that butter features in every meal I probably eat in a restaurant.
If you cooked food, can you put butter in it?
Yeah. So if I'm making if I'm cooking at home and I'm following a recipe, and it says cook down the onions and the shallots in butter, I'll use oil.
What do you use in a sponge cake?
Yes. So baking, I'll always use butter. Yeah. No. Yeah. If it's in baked goods, it's fine. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. No. I know. I mean, it's just not an added extra.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. I mean, look. The other day in the airport lounge, I do travel business class. We get a lounge. I say to the lady.
God, your air miles must be incredible.
Oh yeah, I've got a million.
I mean, you're literally free to go around the whole world 3 times at this point.
So I say to the lady, I'm getting a piece of toast. Because again, carbs, I think, toast. And sometimes, again, I wanted a piece of toast. So I say to the lady, have you got any butter? She says, yes, here it is, sir. And I look down, and I'd already looked, and it's Flora. Okay. And so I say, oh, no, I'd like some butter, please. She says, yes, sir, here it is. I say, no, that's Flora. It's not butter. She says, it's Flora, it's butter. I say, it's not butter. Butter is butter. That is Flora. She calls her friend out from out the back.
Oh, God. He's causing a scene.
Her friend comes out and says, yes, sir. I say, have you got some butter? She literally just gets her hand to the Flora. And I say, that's not butter. That's margarine. She picks up a Flora and goes, yes, butter. I say, no butter. So then I get her a picture of Lurpak.
Oh, my gosh.
Show her the Lurpak. She says, oh, you want butter?
No, this did not happen.
It did happen. She then goes out the back, brings me back 4 little Lurpaks. Honestly, the toast had gone cold. I had to
start all over again.
It was hilarious. It was one of my funniest moments. It was great.
Wow. Okay.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
Did you ever get the hot toast with the butter?
Yes, I did eventually. And she was so genuinely lovely when she brought the butter. Oh, you want butter? Like I'm not okay. And she was like, there we go, yes.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, one man's butter is another man's Flora.
Well, quite.
But Flora is Flora. Flora is not butter.
Yeah, because it's margarine.
Have you seen how expensive Lurpak is? Sorry.
Yes. Well, but I don't buy it. But yes. Oh. Not my problem. Not my problem.
That part of the cost of living crisis doesn't affect me.
That didn't affect me. But the olive oil did, actually.
Because that went up.
Bloody expensive.
It's brilliant. You're like, no, that's irrelevant to me.
I think that's a bit of a you problem, Andy.
It's even in the security box in some... What is the world coming to? It's in a security box.
It is.
I can't believe it. Oh.
You've mentioned a couple of times MasterChef. Before we get on to the end of the chat, I would love to talk about your time on there. Oh. Was it as nerve-wracking as it looks?
It was so scary.
Really?
The difference is when you do amateur MasterChef, so normal MasterChef, you have to be auditioned. You have to go through 3 audition processes. When you do Celebrity MasterChef, they just say, are you available on all these filming days? So they'd asked me for a couple of years, here are the 35 filming days we will need. Are you available on all of them? And I was always not available. And I remember saying to my management, look, I really want to do it. So next year when they ask, just say I'm available. And even if it doesn't work, I'll just get myself knocked out when I need to get knocked out because I've got to work. It came round and I could do all the days.
Okay.
So I did it. It was amazing. It was so difficult in parts. It's a real leveler. So we're all it's a bit like I'm a Celebrity. I just think people go, oh, good, bad. Until you're there and you're all just doing it, you don't know. I had to cook, I just won't forget 100 poached eggs for the guys at Sandhurst who were doing their final passing out day.
Yeah.
I can't poach an egg now because I just get memories of MasterChef. I don't invite people around for dinner anymore because when I was practicing for MasterChef, literally every day I would invite my friends around. And it was I did it 10 years ago. So it was at the beginning of the chocolate fondant cake.
Yes.
Oh, geez. I mean, I've got friends who had so many of those at my house as me just trying to time it to get them right.
So there's a lot of homework.
Oh, my goodness. I worked so incredibly hard. The fact I didn't win, I was mortified. But I loved it.
You need sort of like a round two.
Do you know what? Interesting. So come dine with me. Always say, come and do Celeb, come dine with me, or do Bake Off. But for me, I did so well in MasterChef and I loved it. You kind of want to stay
at that.
That's it. Yeah. You go and do Come Dine with me. You come last because your entertainment was rubbish. Yeah, but my food was the best. Doesn't matter. The entertainment was rubbish. Bake Off. Desserts and baking are probably my strongest thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but just know my luck, there'll be somebody stronger. So,
okay.
Do you know what? Quit while you're ahead. That's what I say.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
When you are out and about, where are some of your favourite restaurants?
One of my friends said to me, don't just wang on about Nando's and Nobu. Okay, I won't wang on about Nando's and Nobu, but I am just going to say I do love a Nando's.
What's your Nando's order?
Oh, right. Now it is chicken thighs, medium, with spicy rice and halloumi cheese. And then you mix the halloumi cheese and the spicy rice together and put a bit of the garlic drizzle.
Oh,
delicious. Now, that's a sauce, but by the time you've mixed it in, it's not on the plate. If you see what I mean, it just makes the rice a bit more sticky. It's not sort
of like swimming in it.
Well, no, I can't. The other thing is when people don't rest the steak. What's wrong with you? I can't bear it. I have this argument with my husband all the time. Oh, really?
No, because he does and I want to eat it.
Oh,
no, but I do try and rest it.
Yeah.
But there's,
Right. Anyway, so that would be my... I love chicken wings. I love great chicken wings.
Yeah.
I love sushi, so the restaurant Nobu is very dear to my heart. I've loved it for many, many years.
Do you know what it is? And I get what you're saying about don't, talk about Nobu, blah, blah, blah. The consistency of Nobu, and as far as I'm concerned, this is how I feel. For me, if I'm going to go out somewhere and I'm going to eat something like raw fish, which is called a spade, I would rather spend good money on it, knowing that I'm going to get a fantastic meal, than go somewhere that
could be a bit suspect.
And I could be paying the consequences for it.
I am with you.
I know what I'm going to get there, and the food is
consistency is
fantastic.
key, and I think that's where if you were on the moon and you opened a can of Coke, it would taste the same, and it would taste the same as if you drank a can of Coke in Skegness. And I think for me, I am such a creature of habit.
Yeah.
I love consistency, so I will go to Starbucks above Costa because at Starbucks, the machine does the extraction. The extraction's always the same. At Costa, a human does the extraction, so the extraction changes.
I'm mind blown.
That's how my brain works.
Gosh, you'd really fit in with this family household.
That's how my brain works. So other restaurants that I love, Dinner by Heston.
Yes.
So if I go, I'll do one Ponzi, one normal.
Okay.
So Dinner by Heston, absolutely just think it's one of the best restaurants out there. Again, it's consistently brilliant, and I've tested them worldwide. And you go to the one in Melbourne, it's as good as the one in London, it's as good as the one in Dubai. So that's a really lovely restaurant. I love an Honest Burger.
Okay, I really like Honest Burger.
Yeah.
Good chips.
Yeah, great chips. It's interesting because, again, consistent, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And my third lovely restaurant I would go to would be, the River Cafe.
Okay.
I mean, talk about bougie.
Yeah.
I'll sell my iPhone, then I can go for a meal at the River Cafe.
And you might be able to afford the pasta.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, literally. Would you like, should we start you off with some bread? Am I paying for it? Yes, you are. In that case, I'll go hungry. Yeah, it's. I love that restaurant. Is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, the food, the provenance. But my God, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
But I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a work one. Anytime someone from ITV says, should we go for lunch? River Cafe.
Expenses.
Yeah. Exactly. They haven't finished inviting me. I'm like, I've got the table booked.
We're outside.
Yeah. But there are people who have regular bookings there.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It just...
And also, I think it tells the truth as well when somewhere has been open for so long.
Yes.
You know, that is
When I worked at
consistency.
Children's BBC, that place was open.
You know, that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's 30
Oh, God,
years ago.
You know, what she's done there, Ruthie, is... It's an institution.
And it is, you won't have a bad meal.
No.
You will not have a bad meal. You know, you leave there, you know, knowing that you've eaten well.
Totally.
And you leave there knowing that if you use an Amex card, you've got a lot of points because you spent a fortune. That's again, you got to think of these things. Yeah.
No, totally.
Which card should we pay on? Pay on the one that get the most points. That's the card you need to pay on.
I need to find something to justify
I might
this.
get my companion voucher on this one meal alone. Seriously. But the food is amazing.
Yeah.
The food. Can I quickly mention another?
Of course.
Scots.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Scots in Richmond.
I mean, you haven't been to the one in Richmond.
It's better than Mayfair.
Really?
Because of the view.
I finished my chats with a few quickfire questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Born ready.
Fantastic. What's the craziest food you've ever eaten?
Is it called uni? That sea urchin.
Nice.
Tastes like rotten cheese.
Some people might like that.
Agreed.
What's your most memorable meal?
My most memorable meal is probably meals that I have with friends.
Love
it can
that.
be anywhere, any place. But do you know what? For me, you have to be in the right frame of mind with the right people. John Turode, who I adore as a chef and as a friend, he said to me in his restaurant, when people moan about the food, he always says, what were you doing? Were you celebrating? Oh, I just had an argument with my... He said, well, that's why you didn't like the food. It's nothing to do with my food. It's to do with the fact you didn't have you weren't there in the right situation. Yeah. So any meal with friends, true friends as well, are always the best.
I love that. Okay. I don't know where this answer's going to go.
Okay.
This could be a make or break of our friendship, actually.
Oh, my love. Well, do you want to save it till it's the last question? Because that way...
I'm so nervous.
Well, hang on a minute. Look, there's 8 minutes left on my parking. I don't like to give the council that much money. So I refuse to pay any more money on parking.
So you got a 10-minute grace period.
No, you haven't. That's a myth. Don't ever believe that.
Well, 5 minutes, actually.
I don't believe that. No.
He's like, nah.
It's now exactly 8 minutes.
God,
it's now 7 minutes 59.
You're stressing me out.
Is this the last question?
No, you got a few more.
I would ask the other ones first.
Okay, fine. Okay. Because it is going to make or break everything.
Fine. All right.
Okay. What food sums up happiness for you?
Oh, fish fingers, baked beans and mashed potato. Peter's Perfect Mash.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Favourite plain food?
Oh, now. Now, I don't want to sound too bougie, but I fly Emirates. But you're here now.
So you better go on with it.
I fly Emirates a lot. I love Emirates. Emirates are one of the best. They probably are the best airline out there. I can't even bring myself to say what I'm going to say. But they do the most amazing chicken biryani that they cook for like 4 days before you get... Yeah, like the gravy.
Yeah.
But it's not a gravy.
Andy, what is happening here?
Indian people call it a gravy, but it's not a gravy.
Yeah.
Oh, my life. That chicken biryani leaving Dubai is the best airplane food ever.
You heard it here first. The 3 items that are always in your fridge.
Milk. Full fat, Cravendale, because it lasts longer because I'm away a lot and come back. So I like milk that lasts long. Parmesan cheese.
Oh, yes.
Lasts a long time. And again, if in doubt and you don't know what to do, just grate some Parmesan on it.
100%.
It normally tastes fine.
100%.
And unfortunately for you, butter. I've always got to have a bit of butter in the fridge.
Not
always.
Flora.
Oh, no, not Flora, please. Yeah, butter always.
Live to eat or eat to live? Let's get philosophical.
Live to eat.
Yeah.
I live my life knowing that if I work hard, I can afford to go to certain restaurants sometimes.
I love
everything
that.
in moderation. Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
Here it is.
This is the
Hang on.
first. This is the first
I've got
time.
6 minutes 10 to answer this
The
question.
pressure. I'm breaking a sweat. I've never done this where I've changed the order.
Okay, right, well.
Okay. My favourite snack of all time is a packet of crisps.
Yours is?
Yep.
Okay.
What is your favourite flavour of crisps?
Oh, that is so simple for me. So simple. I have one flavour, which is my go-to flavour. I will not eat any other flavour. Have you said what your flavour is? Do you have a set flavour as well?
Yes.
Right, so if your flavour is salt and vinegar, we're not going to be friends, right? That is the devil's food, salt and vinegar. The best flavour of crisps is the launch flavour that the Irish crisp company Tato first ever made.
Okay.
They didn't make ready salted as their first ever flavour.
Okay.
They made a different flavour. That different flavour is my favourite flavour of crisps. The flavour in question is cheese and onion.
Okay, no. I've never had my heart stopped.
What's your favourite flavour?
Pickled onion Monster Munch. No,
Of all the things I thought you might say. But that's, I'm down with that, though. I'm down with
what
that.
I was worried about is you were going to say prawn cocktail.
Oh, no.
Because then I was going to ask you to leave.
No.
In time for
Can you
your
feel
cup.
it vibrating? Done. It literally says on my watch, done. No, cheese and onion all the way. I don't like salt and vinegar. A little bit too sharp.
I actually love salt and vinegar, but
No,
okay,
cheese and onion. And are you familiar with Tato crisps?
Yes.
Oh my! So
they're amazing.
Every time I go to Ireland,
I love a roast chicken one.
Tato.
Yeah.
I love all of their flavours,
Yeah.
and you know why they're so nice? MSG.
Which apparently I found out is even in cocktails.
What?
Yeah, they're putting them into cocktails to get you to drink more.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Tato crisps,
Yeah.
they are the nicest crisp in the world.
Well, Andy, you redeemed yourself.
Hey.
This honestly was the biggest honour for me.
Oh.
And you are even better in person than you have been on my screens for all these years. I wish you nothing but love, success, happiness for the next 5 decades.
Thank you very much.
And until next time. Thank you for listening. If you love what you hear, please subscribe and review. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram @CrazySexyFood. Until next time, bye.